Well, good morning, everyone. Let me get this microphone a little closer. We welcome you this morning to the Utah Department of Alcohol Beverage Services, our monthly commission meeting. My name is Stephen Handy. I'm the chair for the year, and I'll be happy to make some introductions here in just a moment and embarrass the staff. They just love me doing this. So, Jeff, you're going to give us the Pledge of Allegiance, and we would appreciate you coming forward right now to do that, please. Very much, Jeff. Jeff Colvin is our package agency and manufacturing program manager. I want to note that we have two of our commissioners who are joining us online and just want to ensure that they're here. Commissioner Orton, is she with us? And Commissioner Owens? They are
Yep.
both. And Commissioner Tennant has just arrived, and we appreciate you coming. Do you see them, Vicki? We'll do that. While we're just getting that get that squared away, I just want to take a moment to introduce our commissioners to those of you who haven't been to our commission meetings, and because I think that the service that people are giving ought to have the opportunity for just a little recognition, even though it's embarrassing. So on my far right is Vicki Ashby, the executive assistant to the commission and the executive director. Todd Darrington, our finance director, is here. Doug Murakami is our alcohol education director. And then we have Commissioner Tennant here, and we have our vice chair, Commissioner Jennifer Ortiz. I know Jennifer Ortiz, don't I? Tara's on. Pardon me. And then to my left is our director, Tiffany Clayson. And then to her left is Commissioner Tara Tui, and Commissioner Tom Jacobson is with us here. We have our Deputy Director, Kate Meyer, over operations, Jeremy Sunderlath, who is the Licensing and Compliance Administration Director, and we have Sam McHenry, who is our Assistant Attorney General, joining us. Sitting here on the front row, we have Michelle Schmidt, our Communications Director. We have Rob Hansen here, our training program manager. Stephanie Hansen is here. Our off-premise program manager, Craig Ware, is here. Thank you. Our on-premise retail program manager, and Aaron Hinkle. There's Aaron. Thank you. Our violations program manager, Jeff Colvin, who led us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. And we have helping in here with our AV and our IT issues. We have Joe Ferrari and Steve Lucero. Thanks, guys, very, very much. Well, this meeting, of course, is we typically meeting on the last Thursday of the month, but we're meeting a week earlier because of the Thanksgiving holiday, which is a week from today. And just to note to all of you that we have our proposed meeting schedule. This is in the agenda that you can access online. We'll be meeting again on Thursday, December 19th. That, of course, is a little earlier because of the Christmas holiday. We'll be meeting then in January, on Thursday, January 30th, and we'll be meeting here in this room at the multi-state office building. We make a note, of course, that you would all be aware of that our stores will be closed on a week from today, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, November 28th. Also on Christmas Day, Wednesday, December 25th, and on New Year's Day, January 1st. I would note that there are a good number of you present today and online as well, and we welcome your participation. Those present, please complete the form located at the back entrance to the room. Those participating virtually, please email your name, city, topic, affiliation, and we'll do public comment at the end of our agenda. I think we have a pretty straightforward agenda today, and so I think that we'll be expeditiously be able to go through the agenda and then have the opportunity. So with that, we'll turn now to Doug Murakami, who's the Parents Empowered Director, for his update. You were not with us last month in person, and Doug, we are grateful that you're here today. So go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Chair Handy. Good morning, commissioners.
our Parents Empowered Community Partnership projects for fiscal year 2025 are moving forward nicely. We've actually completed half of those. We've got about a half a dozen that are complete, and we're looking forward to the 6 additional local community projects for the rest of the fiscal year. The 5 out of the 6 that are remaining, we call them Tier 1 partnership projects, and they're a little bit larger scale. They require a little more planning and resources as well as evaluation. So we're very excited for those CPPs in the upcoming months. As part of our TV and media package that we purchase with local broadcast stations, we are allowed quarterly takeover days. And yesterday on KSL News, we had a takeover day for Parents Empowered. And what they do is they feature our promotional ads on their station throughout the day. And then we get a KSL News interview as well. So we were on it at all during the day on the news channels and as well as some interviews. It's really a great opportunity for us to focus and be a central point of attention with our message during those takeover days. So looking forward to a few more of those throughout the year. And then also looking forward, we have a new Parents Empowered ad, and we call it the Tin Man. I don't have it available to play, but we'll get that to you. Maybe look for it on TV and online. But it follows our theme for the year, wrong versus very wrong. And the gist of the commercial is, it's wrong to send a Tin Man through an MRI machine, but it's very wrong to drink underage. And then the closing statement is, when your kids understand underage drinking is very wrong, 9 out of 10 don't drink. So great stat that we're aware of with the Sharp survey, and so that's what our creative concepts are tracking this year. And then lastly, I just want to mention the last commission meeting, I meant to mention this stat that I got from Jill Sorensen. She's with Department of Public Safety, and she heads up the Eliminating Alcohol Sales to Youth program, which is a state and local law enforcement compliance check program throughout the state. And she mentioned to me that in fiscal year 2024, they conducted 43 state store and 6 package agency compliance checks, and they all passed. And she mentioned that to me. And I just wanted to share that stat with you. That's certainly a good stat. And so I wanted to get that through. And that report is part of, and I shared this with you last month, but it's part of our Parents Empowered annual report. So you can find those numbers in that report as well. And this concludes my report. Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Thank you very much, Doug. I wanted to note that I have spent a little time. I'm still in the executive summary part of the report that you provided to us. It's really excellent, and I hope the other commissioners would take time to delve into this too. But I wanted to just note how impressive this is, and I'll read from this. To help measure our collective progress, we use the Student Health and Risk Prevention SHARP, which you just referenced, statewide survey. The 2023 survey shows that underage drinking in Utah continues to trend downward since 2005, with a 60% decrease in lifetime use, a 71% decrease in regular 30-day use, and a 72% decrease in binge drinking among Utah youth 6th, 8th, and 10th, 12th grades. That is, and the author of the report noted here, this is truly a remarkable collective achievement for the state of Utah, as we started with one of the lowest drinking rates in the nation to begin with. Very impressive. My question to you, Doug, is we did a 2023 SHARP survey. When is the next one to be done?
They're done every other year. So we're looking at 2025. We'll see some more results, and that's in the fall of 2025.
So a year from now, and we'll get the results a year from now-ish.
That's correct.
All right, that's perfect. Do any other commissioners have questions for Doug? Seeing none, we'll now move on to our financial report from Mr. Darrington, our financial. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Chair Andy. Good morning. The financials for period 4 are in a good place in that they are very stable. The sales year over year have decreased by about 3% from 42 million to 41.2 million in retail sales. Package agencies represent about 5.4% of that total, at a total of $2.3 million in sales for the same period in fiscal year 25 as it was in fiscal year 24. It's very consistent with what we're seeing in industry trends across the board and expected in the position that we're in currently. Cost of liquor is up by about $1.5 million. In 2024, it was 21.4 million. In 2025, at 22.8 million. This is just the expected additional costs associated with procuring the items that we sell at our stores. Very normal, nothing out of the ordinary from our revenue standpoint. If you look at our expenses, however, you'll see a large jump in our operating expenses from fiscal year 24 to 25. That is primarily in the current expense category, and it's due to an increase in accurate reporting. We're getting the right transactions in the right period at the right time, which is resulting in our current expense showing our operations and maintenance for our buildings increasing at an exponential rate compared to previous years, but that's due to past errors. All of this results in a healthy net operating income of $8 million that we are expecting for this period to transfer back to the general fund at the end of the fiscal year. All in all, we're doing well. The stores are responding in good kind and producing what we expect them to produce at this time. Any questions I can answer?
Thank you very much. In the transfers to other funds, and I apologize, I didn't look at this too carefully before. Why are those spaces blank? The school lunch and public safety and the underage drinking prevention.
Yes.
Why is there no flow there?
It's due to the timing of the reports. So we run it on a 4-week without
Okay.
concern for the end of the fiscal year, but we do our transfers once the fiscal month has ended per the state's calendar. So this report only takes us through October 26th. Those transfers would have occurred after October 31st.
Okay. That's exactly right. Okay. Commissioner Tui, please.
But looking at the net profit for general fund transfer, it appears there's a year over year change from period 4 last year, period 4 this year, of a negative delta of 29%. I know that sales are lower this year compared to last year, and that's a trend we've seen nationwide. But I'm wondering what is with that? That seems like a big delta there, not just a slight drop in sales. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. And that comes back to that current expense category that I mentioned earlier. We're having our transactions, our standard transactions that would pay for our operations and maintenance, for our other costs that are one-time expenses. In years past, they were not put into the proper period. This year, they got where they were supposed to go at the right time. You would see that additional about $4 million under the current expenses in other periods last year, probably period 5 or period 6. This year, it went where it was supposed to go at the right time. And so it's not a decrease in our revenue as much as it is an increase in our expenses that is resulting in the change from fiscal year 24 to fiscal year 25.
So you think it's going to balance out?
Yes. Yeah. It'll smooth out over the remainder of the year. You would have seen these just in a different period in fiscal year 24, and they're just showing in this period this time. Yeah.
It's a really great question. Thank you. Any other commissioners' questions? Seeing none, we'll now move to the next agenda item, which is our operations update with our director, Tiffany Clayson, and Deputy Director Kate Meyer.
Thank you, Chair Handy. Thank you, commissioners. We're really excited to talk about a recent development that we've been referring to as the Roundup. Earlier this calendar year, the state legislature required that all state liquor stores provide an option for customers to round up their purchase to the nearest dollar. We have many retailers in food and beverage that will do this. If you go through a drive-through at a McDonald's or a Taco Bell, they have different charities or scholarship funds where this is common practice. For us, the proceeds go to the Pamela Atkinson homeless account, which collects and then will distribute funding for statewide homeless services. The account is managed not by us, but by Utah's Office of Homeless Services, and that's with DWS, the Department of Workforce Services. So this week, in collaboration with DWS, we officially launched the program. It is officially launched statewide. It was on Monday where we did the soft launch just to make sure everything would go really well. We did that at the store we call Store 41 or Harris Ave or the wine store. It's a store that many people are familiar with. Since it's so we then launched it on Tuesday statewide. So since its implementation 2 days ago, with only one store open the first day and then all stores open the second day, we've collected through very generous customer donations, $12,631. And all of that will go towards homeless services via that account. So we're obviously very excited to play a small role in what is a really big and really significant effort to provide services to our unhomed population. And it's something really to feel great about. This was an initiative of Governor Cox. It was a priority as part of his administration goals. So again, we're excited that we were able to partner with a really collaborative intergovernmental team to pull this off. It sounds like it would be an easy thing to pull off. It was not. So the department wants to thank all the many people that worked really hard to make sure that these donations would go to address, the need in our state. We have our DTS partners, so Tim Cornea and Rachel Gresham and Alec Pitkin. I really can't say enough about Alec and Rachel, quite frankly, because there were some challenges really close to the end of the project as we were getting ready to do the external launch. And there were one or two times where I actually thought we would not be able to launch before the holiday season. So really down to some amazing problem solving and thinking outside of the box. Rachel and Alec on the DTS side helped kind of pull the programming piece together. We had Cade Meyer on our team that was really a big advocate and leader to bring this project along those issues that I just mentioned, making sure that we were able to navigate that properly. We have Janet Long, obviously our Todd Darrington, Val Barnes, Michelle Schmidt, all of these folks, in addition to our hardworking retail staff, right? Those managers and cashiers are successful for this launch. So I really just thank everybody that's involved in this project. Lastly, on this matter, I want to thank the store employees who ask every single customer if they'd like to round up, right? It's a prompt. And if they're not asking that prompt or following that prompt, then this program will not be as successful as it could be. So I'm very excited and I'm very appreciative of everyone's efforts so far, not only the retail staff, but certainly the customers that are then voluntarily opting in with their generosity on this initiative and effort. So we're really excited about that. Licensing newsletter. The department sent out the quarterly licensing newsletter to over 1,700 bar and restaurant owners, as well as other licensees. The response was really positive. So 66% of those who received the newsletter opened the email, which is big. This is not my expertise or lane, but I feel like I read somewhere or was told somewhere that if you get even like an A++ would be like a 30%, right? So to be double that in the 66% range is huge. It shows that there is a want, a desire, right? A strong want and desire to receive information from us. And so that we're working hard to respond to that, right? We want to be able to have information coming out of the department on operations, on legislative updates, all of those sorts of things to that part of our customer base. So those who responded to the questions that we asked, there's like a ask compliance section. Those licensees can submit questions anonymously about alcohol laws, regulations, and requirements. So I thought it was a really well put together newsletter, and we were excited to get the engagement that we received. I'd like to, she'll kill me for this, thank Michelle, as well as our compliance staff that work with Michelle to help put this together. I think they're doing a great job, and I'm really glad that we're able to provide this communication opportunity to the hospitality community. The last update I'll be providing you before Kate provides you an update is just reminding you all as you all come into contact with everyone, and then also anyone that is joining us here today, that it's so important to make a plan when we're celebrating, right? So we've hit at any time of year, hopefully people are celebrating responsibly with alcohol and making a plan, right, if they're going to be traveling and consuming alcohol. But especially now where we know that this is a time of year where lots of people are getting together with family and friends. They're connecting, they're celebrating milestones, they're making memories, and all of that is important, and we love it, right? Alcohol is often at the center of many of those, right, get-togethers. And so it's just a great time to remind everyone to please, 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 please celebrate responsibly. And one of the best ways to celebrate responsibly is to have a plan before you start celebrating responsibly, right? And so think about where you're going, who's going to drive, if you're going to be drinking. Do you need to get a ride share? Do you need to take public transportation? Tragedies related to impaired driving are very avoidable, right? And so celebrating responsibly and making a plan before you leave home will help you get home safely. It will help other people who are traveling on the roads be safe as well. So thank you for allowing me to just send that little or put that little message in. And Kate, if you could provide your update, that would be great.
Thanks, Director Clayson, and thanks for that reminder. I just want to make everyone aware that this is the busiest time of the year for our department. In fact, this weekend and the 3 days before the holiday are some of the busiest days of the year. And so I just want to remind everybody the opportunity they have to shop a little early, to get out there and make a qualified, responsible purchase. And I just also want to thank our team. We had great time preparing for this, getting ready for that. There's many teams involved in this. Our purchasing team, our merchandising team, our warehouse team, of course, our retail store staff who have been preparing for this weekend and the following week for many months now. So we also want to thank those, as of course, all of our customers who show us so much patience and grace during this time as well. There'll be very busy stores, and it's right out of the gate. There's no magic time to come. Sometimes I'm asked that question, when's the best time to come? We find that it's busy right from the start. So starting right at 11 a.m. and ongoing, it's usually pretty busy. So please remember to shop early, stay safe, and please drink responsibly. Thank you.
I have a question about the Roundup program. That is an amazing report, Director and Kate. That is really, really amazing. So at checkout, our staff, they're asking the question, would you like to round up for? Do we have promotional materials also placed at the checkout?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. We do have it. There's also an opportunity for sometimes people are asking if they can donate more. Oh, and so at the register, it's just a roundup. So if it's $1.50, whatever it might be, it's rounded up to $2 as an example. But there is a QR code that you can scan and donate directly to the fund.
Stores and see that. See how that is set up. Any other questions from commissioners? No. So we're ready for the next part. Jeremy, please. Are we to you or are we to you, Director? Which one? You're going to do the.
I'll lead off with the proposed administrative rules.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chair. You all will hopefully remember in the August meeting, you all approved to move forward the proposed administrative rules. This is something that we could do any time of year or multiple times of year. We typically do it late summer, early fall, and try to catch as many of those things that we need to kind of put into the proposed administrative rules as possible. A lot of these come from general legislative session, right? Months prior to that, as new laws have been made or old laws have been revised. It's a good opportunity to take all of that, make sure that we have proper alignment between statute, our rules, our operations. And so just as a reminder to you all, but also to the public, that is what we do, right? When we're working with the proposed administrative rules. So these were presented to you all in August. You all voted to move them forward. They then went through an official process where they were published. So folks could view them and read them. And then there is a public comment period where folks can then comment on them, right? Either we're in support of the rule, we're not in support of the rule. And so we received some public comment that I'd like to just draw your attention to. One public comment that we received was from Kate Bradshaw regarding our label approvals. And it involved her representing the Beer Wholesalers Association. With this rule is just really to bring the language from rule and statute into proper alignment. So the change and the update is not meant to change our process or our operation at all. But they had some concerns around the word revision. And so through really great dialogue with them, we have decided that the rule doesn't need to be changed or amended, but we did want to go on the record letting the commission and the public know that we plan to clarify some things in our style guide on the website about what a revision is. So where there are non-material changes to a label, right? So you have, you have products where the label won't change, but then you have some products that their formula doesn't change, right? What you're consuming or buying, but the label might change slightly for summer promotion, right? Or for some other holiday. So non-material changes that wouldn't require going through the revision process again would be if there's a typo, punctuation issue, if they're just updating the font and the size stays the same, that would be considered a non-material change. If they're just changing words or letters from upper to lowercase or vice versa, if they're just changing the address for bottling, but it's still within the state, or if they're changing or adding a QR code or a website, those are what we consider non-material changes. And so that would not have to go through the revision process again. Material changes or substantive changes that would require going through that approval process are changes to imagery, because we want to make sure, right, that any possible imagery changes wouldn't make it run afoul of some other labeling provision that we have that would, I won't even name them because there's a couple that could come into play, but that is important. Color scheme changes, because statute does require that there be contrast in color variation, name or brand, new phrases, new certification, or new wording. So that is what we consider material or substantive changes when we talk about revision. So again, I wanted to make sure to explain that to you all, which we did do in subcommittee meetings, but also to make sure to have it verbally on the public record. We will also be making sure to clarify this on our website and within our style guide, so that those folks that are dealing in this, manufacturers, distributors, et cetera, have it there to reference now or in the future as well. We did receive an additional piece of public comment that was just a positive general piece of public comment. Aside from that, there was no other official public comment. And so our recommendation would be that you all entertain a motion and then a vote to approve the proposed administrative rules A through R with, and this is very important, an effective date of November 22nd, 2024.
Thank you very much for that excellent report. Before I call for a motion, another discussion, just to say that for the public's benefit, administrative rules throughout state government, it's an ongoing and it's a timely process. Just because the legislature passes a bill, then starts, and Governor Cox signs the bill, it's enacted, then starts in a long and sometimes a long process to get the correct language so that it can be, put into code, into statute in the correct way and in the correct language way and in the correct place. And so we have lots and lots of smart people in state government and the legislature who work on this and who understand how this works. This is a lot of work. I, for one, and I think that commissioners join with me in expressing appreciation to the director and your staff and everyone who's worked on these for many, many months, these rule changes. So with that, I'll see if the commissioners have any questions. If not, we could proceed to a motion. Commissioner Tennant.
Just a clarification on the description that a director gave about revision and material and the department's intention to do some things in other documents on the website, and then also just the way that you put that on the record here is helpful. I'm just wondering why we wouldn't just do the definition of material in the rule. Is it just not necessary, or like?
We felt like Erica worked on all of this language, and we felt like the language was sufficient, the word revision and the way that Erica proposed that it be drafted. Because we really genuinely, sincerely appreciated the feedback that there was a concern that it needed to be further defined, just so for those folks that have to deal with this. There was an agreement that if we do have to define that, we have to start the process over. And so it will take an additional 4 to 6 months. Now, saying that, I, on the record in that conversation, said like, if we feel like that is what we need to do, we certainly will do that. But there, in I feel like mutual agreement between us and then the party that was concerned, that this satisfied, having it in our style guide and whatnot, satisfied their concerns.
Yep, I appreciate that. I think that context is just so helpful. I will say that I maybe would lean towards a bit of a preference in, if we do revisit this, potentially like codifying it through rule, just because I've seen these things before, and it sounds like we have a great solution right now, but it does depend on who's sitting in your chair, director, and who is you know, representing the industry that may be impacted by these things. And so if we think generally that this is a good policy and good way to handle this in executing on the word material as we're talking about, it would be helpful like to have it codified in rule eventually. But I appreciate the context. That's helpful to understand.
No, and I think that's valid, and that was part of our conversation with this party as well. And so the thinking is that this is a helpful next step to just further define and to address those concerns. And then as we go through the next rulemaking process, when we do that, we can entertain making that even more detailed and clear. Yep.
Mr. Tennant, that is an excellent perspective. Thank you very much for sharing that. Commissioner Terrazon, please.
I can make a motion to approve the proposed administrative rules A through R with an effective date of November 22nd, 2024.
Thank you very much. Is there a second, please? Commissioner Tennant is a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now go, because we have 2 of our commissioners online. We'll go to a roll call vote, please, Vicky.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenner, Commissioner Terrazon.
Aye.
Commissioner Tui.
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Aye. Thank you very much. That has passed unanimously, and thank you again for that, all of that excellent work, and you'll take into consideration the comments that have been shared and made going forward. We're now to item number 8. We'll turn to Sam McHenry from the Attorney General's office to take us through the violations in our consent calendar. Please, sir.
Chair Handy.
Yeah.
We have 6 items on the consent calendar this month. All items are complete with settlement agreements in place. And unless there's any specific questions from any of the commissioners, the department recommends that be taken as a group.
Thank you very much. This information has been in our packet, and we have had opportunity in our subcommittees to review the violations. And I would now, if the commissioners feel so inclined, to ask for a motion in the affirmative, please. Mr. Jacobson, thank you very much. And a second, please. Mr. Terrazon, thank you very, very much for that second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll call now for a roll call vote on item number 8, violation in the consent calendar. Thank you.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenard, Vice Chair Terrazon, Commissioner Tui.
Aye.
Commissioner Owens, Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Aye. Thank you very much. That passes unanimously. Now we're to item number 9, our licensee recognitions. Director Clayson, this is for you, please.
Thank you, Chair. Commission, this is the part where after you all have taken action to sort of, to adjudicate action on violations. This is an opportunity we have to share with you all and make sure that you've seen the result of SBI inspections and those operators, those licensees that have passed their recent inspections. So for October, the month prior, because that's how we receive this data, we've had 38 licensees that have passed their inspections. And so thank you for allowing us the opportunity to present that to you. And thank you to all of our folks in our hospitality community that are working really, really hard, especially this time of year as things really amp up to try to make sure they have folks trained and their operations in place to ensure that they are not serving to those that are underage.
Thank you. Does that complete your report?
Yes, sir.
Very much, Director. We're now at item number 10, and this is the November license renewal reminder. And we'll turn now to Jeremy Summerlath, our Licensing and Compliance Administration Director. Please, sir.
Very good morning to you, Commissioners. Thank you for the time now. The quick reminder for the November license renewal reminder, the renewal period for the license types I'm about to list for an on-time renewal go from November 1 to November 30th. They are for local industry manufacturing representatives, manufacturing brewery, manufacturing distillery, manufacturing winery, special use permit, public service, certificate of approval, out-of-state brewers, beer wholesaler, and liquor warehouse. I will remind the public that late renewal is not an option for public service permittees or certificate of approvals. And those late renewals for the other license types go from December 1 to December 10 with a $300 late fee added. So it would be great if you could get it in on time.
Thank you very much. We're close to the end of the renewal period. How is everything going?
Got 119 renewals still pending.
And how many completed, do you know? I'm sorry, I
Sure,
didn't mean
no.
to throw you that curve.
I'd love to tell you.
Out.
We'd have to restart this silly.
No,
computer.
it's okay. It's okay. You can come back to that. Figure that out. That just out of curiosity. So, Jeremy, you have the next item. This is a large item, item number 11 in the consent agenda. And if you're ready for that, we'll have you do that now.
To do that as well. Thank you very much. In this consent agenda, we've included the prior meetings minutes and some, but not all, license applications. The consent agenda includes applications for the following types of licenses and permits: off-premise beer retailer, liquor warehouse, beer wholesaler, manufacturing, package agency, hospitality amenity, and restaurant limited service. An amendment that you should be aware of to this consent agenda under H, add a hotel sublicense. The department is striking all 3 items at the request of the applicants and will be reevaluated for the December meeting agenda. The consent agenda does not include full-service restaurant or bar establishment applicants. Those license types have historically been license scarcity, and given the likely need for additional discussion amongst yourselves and the applicants, those will be heard and actioned at a separate time on our agenda. It's important to note that all of the applications for your approval on this consent agenda that have been processed, vetted, and found to have met all of the statutory requirements. You as a commission have the preparation materials on their businesses and relevant requirements and have reviewed the materials and had an opportunity to ask staff questions. So if there are any questions that you may have now, I'm happy to answer those. Otherwise, for a motion.
Questions for Jeremy, please? Any of the commissioners? Anyone online? I think that we are good. Thank you for that report. So this motion, I believe, do we need to state in the motion, probably would be good, that we're pulling item H. And this includes also approval minutes. So Commissioner Terrazon, please.
Sure. I move to approve the consent agenda items A, G, and item I.
A second, please. Second, Commissioner Jacobson. Thank you very much. And no additional discussion. So Vicky, please, a roll call vote.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenard, Vice Chair Terrazon,
Aye.
Commissioner Tui.
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Is unanimous. Thank you very much. Now we come to item number 12, and this is Rob Hansen. You have this now, please. Our training program manager, and he will be presenting our establishments. The time is now yours, Rob.
Commissioners, first on the agenda for the bars, we have the Campfire Lounge. They're asking for an extended closure. You might remember that they've been closed since April of this year. And they're doing a very extensive remodel. They came back before us back in July for an extended closure that you granted to this commission meeting. They're asking for a approval of an extension to the March commission meeting. They are here and can answer any questions that you have. I also provided a file for you that has all of the stuff that they are remodeling where they're at.
Thank you very much. So commissioners, we are going to take this item, this request from the Campfire Lounge in Salt Lake City. And I would ask any commissioners, we're going to take this as a separate motion to consider their request for an extension. Would anyone like to hear from the applicant? I don't think so. I think we're good on this, Rob. So Commissioner Terrazon, could you give us a motion on this?
Sure. Move to approve the extended closure for Campfire Lounge.
Thank you very much. In a second, please. Commissioner Tenner, that second. So now we'll have a roll call vote, Vicky.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenard, Vice Chair Terrazon, Commissioner Tui. Commissioner Owen,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Thank you. That passes on a 6-1, and that is extended to March 31. Now, Rob, would you please take us through the license change of ownership items?
Yes, we have 3 changes of ownership. We have Patrick's Pub in Salt Lake City, the world famous Woody's Tavern in Moab, and Rabbit's Foot Brewing in West Valley. The Rabbit's Foot one is conditional. They meet statutory requirements.
Thank you very, very much. We now will take that item as a motion. Please, questions, please.
Yeah, just one question for Rob, and I
Please.
did ask you this before, but just I'd like to do it in the public setting. Do any of these new owners from your assessment have any intention to move location for Patrick's Pub, Woody's world famous Woody's Tavern, or Rabbit's Foot Brewing?
As far as I know, they're all staying in the same place.
Thank you. Chair, with that, I can make a motion. Appropriate.
Appropriate.
I move that we approve the license change of ownership for Patrick's Pub, world famous Woody's Tavern, and Rabbit's Foot Brewing.
Second, please. Commissioner Terrazon, thank you for that second, Vice Chair. Terrazon, will now call for roll call vote.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenard, Vice Chair Terrazon.
Aye.
Commissioner Tui.
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
So those are approved on a 7-0 vote approval. Now we are on the ready to operate applicants. Rob, if you'll present the agenda item.
Yeah, just to update the commission, we have 4 full-year bar licenses available for the entire state. Next month, we get 1 added for population, so that will put us up to 5. Our applicant here is Club Triangles. They're a new applicant. There's actually a bar license currently there that is being surrendered today upon them receiving this. So the figures will not change for next month if this one is granted. This application is complete.
Thank you very, very much. Any questions for Rob on this? Seeing none, we'll call for a motion, please. Commissioner,
Triangles.
thank you, Vice Chair Terrazon. A second, please. Commissioner Tenert, a second. Thank you very much. Vicky, please, a roll call vote.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenert, Vice Chair Terrazon.
Aye.
Commissioner Tui.
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rob. Now, Craig, you are on with us to discuss the restaurant full service. And Craig is our on-premise retail program manager. And we'll turn the mic to you, please.
Thank you. Good morning, commissioners. A couple of items before we get to our new applications for our restaurant full service licenses. We have 1 change of location. This is Mateo in Salt Lake City. We're moving from the 900 South location to 77 West to South in Salt Lake City. That is application is complete statutory.
Thank you very much. This requires a separate vote, and so we'll require a motion now.
Approve the change of location.
Commissioner Terrazon, a second, please. Second from Commissioner Tanner. Roll call vote, please, Vicky.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenert, Vice Chair Terrazon, Commissioner Tui, Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Aye. Thank you very much. That is unanimous. So those are approved. We now have 3 on, let's see, no, we have 2 on the extended closure. Please, Craig, if you'll present those.
So that's correct. We have two licenses on for an extended closure. Snowmobile Pizza, Salt Lake City. They have been closed since August. They've exhausted the time allowed for us to grant without permission approval. They're going through extensive remodeling. That's until January for extended closure. Second item is Applebee's in West Jordan City. They did have a kitchen fire. Been closed since September. Saying they've also exhausted the time with them. We're extending closure without a permission approval. They are requesting to the February.
Very much, very straightforward. So we need a motion on this, please, commissioners.
Chair, could I just
Sure.
ask a question?
Please, Commissioner Orton, I should have called. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I can't hear Craig very well. And so I just wanted to get some clarification on where we stand as a commission in our ability to continue to offer these extended closures on these 2 restaurants. So are we up against the maximum that we're allowed to offer them?
Can you, Craig, get right into that microphone.
Yeah, I can't hear.
They've exhausted the time that their specialists and staff have been able to grant the closure. Now they
Right.
require permission approval to extend further. So there isn't a time, a time requirement for.
Okay, so if they aren't able to open when they are hoping to be able to open, we would be able to give them a further extension?
Yes, that is correct. They would contact us and we would build on the agenda for additional.
Okay, Thank you for that.
Thank you for that question, Commissioner Orton. Are we good to then move forward with please, Commissioner Tennant?
And just in the
Question.
spirit, I appreciate that, Chair, just in the spirit of the question, same spirit of the question that, Commissioner Orton was putting forward, it was something that I was thinking to myself, and I could easily just go look this up myself, but maybe just for purposes of, restating it in a public meeting, I wonder if, Craig or Jeremy or, one of our other staff could remind us, like how much time, the department can grant for closure. And then at that time, like, what is that time period? And that time period that expires, is there any limit on, the amounts that we can give for, like, just timing? That's what I'm asking, if that makes sense.
I'd like to pick that. up for the-
I can look this up.
No,
and you can
it's
send it
No,
to
no,
me
no,
and
no,
me.
we have time. We have
Got it.
time. Let's get it.
Craig, would you like to answer that, or do you want us to look it up real quick?
Part of the reason I asked too is because I think that we saw in the consent calendar, there was, well, maybe that was an extended closure. That was when we just approved a license for a licensee whose license was granted conditionally, and I know that their 18 months expired. So just trying to understand like what the timing is on some of these things would be helpful.
Right, that's what sparked my concern as well.
So on the closures, licensing their request up to 60 days from staff, which can be approved, given there's good reason for it. If those 60 days, if they need more time, they can then request an additional 30 days, which goes to 30 days or to the next commission meeting. Anything beyond that requires that to be put on the commission agenda.
And is there any limit to the amount of time that we can grant extended closure? The commission can grant extended closure. Thank you.
I'm sorry, what was his answer?
There's no limit.
There's no limit. Okay.
No limit once it comes to the commission. Yeah, right. Thank you very, very much. That's excellent clarification. So now, Jeremy, please. more
I
clarification.
would
Thank you.
like to add a caveat to that.
Please.
Just as a reminder, they need to show good faith that they are actually doing the work to get the job done to open.
Of course.
And if they're not showing good faith effort to do that, then you have no reason to extend
Right.
closure.
Yeah, these licenses are precious. We want them to be used. Thank you for that. Good discussion. Now, may I request a motion, extended closure requests?
Second.
A second from Commissioner Terrazon. Thank you very much. Roll call vote, please, Vicky.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tennert, Vice Chair Terrazon.
Aye.
Commissioner Tui.
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Aye. That passes unanimously on those extended closure requests. Now we have one item for the change of ownership application. Craig, if you please discuss this with us.
We have Wong's Asian Bistro here in Salt Lake City for a change of ownership. That application is anything that's with statutory requirements.
Very much. Any questions for Craig? Seeing none, I'd like to entertain a motion. Commissioner Jacobson,
Second.
on a second, thank you very much. Roll call vote, Vicky, please.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tennert, Vice Chair Terrazon.
Aye.
Commissioner Tui,
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Passes unanimously on the Wong's Asian Bistro change of ownership. Now we have the ready to operate item and all other applicants.
So for this month, we do have 77 restaurant full service licenses available in the quota. Additionally, there are 3 summer seasonal licenses available. For our ready to operate applicants, we do have 3 applications. Yoko Taco LLC in Salt Lake City, Yoko Ramen in Salt Lake City, and the Williams Main Street Grill LLC in Magna. Those three applications are complete. They meet statutory requirements.
Very much. Any questions for Craig? Seeing none,
I'll move that we approve the applicants as listed.
in a second. Roll call vote, please, Vicky.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenert, Vice Chair Terrazon,
Aye.
Commissioner Tui,
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
Aye. Now, Craig, all other applicants.
So for all other applicants, we do have 7 applications. These applications are all conditional, otherwise they can meet the statutory requirements for conditional licenses. I do want to note items 1 and 2, they are open. They're just adding alcohol to their menus. We have Nacho House in North Salt Lake, the Social Provo in Provo. Item number 3, Ganesh Indian Cuisine in Park City. They currently hold a restaurant limited service license, which will be surrendered upon approval for full service license. La Depot, Park City, the projected opening of December 1st. Squatters Corner Pub in West Valley City, the projected opening December 27th. Hearth and Hill, Salt Lake City, the projected opening of January 14th. Purple Sky Winery, in Pleasant View, the projected opening in January 5th.
7 applicants. Any questions for Craig? Please.
Thank
Commissioner
you,
Tanner.
Chair Handy, and thank you, Craig. Chair Handy, I actually just wanted to correct a statement that I made that was incorrect. I alluded to there being an applicant in the consent agenda that was reapplying for a license after using up the 18-month conditional period for the license that we previously granted. That applicant is actually in this list of all other applicants and not on the consent agenda. So I'm just correcting a misstatement that I made.
Didn't even notice.
There you go. It's good. I know, just trust me. I know everything.
Okay, well, since you have the mic, please, would you give us a motion, please?
It would be my pleasure to approve the 7 applicants that are listed under all other applicants for a restaurant full service license.
Thank you very much. In a second, please.
Second.
We have Vice Chair Terrazon. Thank you very much. A roll call vote, please, Vicky.
Commissioner Orton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tenert, Vice Chair Terrazon,
Aye.
Commissioner Tui,
Aye.
Commissioner Owens,
Aye.
Commissioner Jacobson, Chair Handy.
That passes unanimously. Thank you very much, Craig. Very much. We are now coming to the end of our agenda. We are on item number 13, comments from commissioners and public. Commissioner Director, please. Or no, Commissioner Tui, thank you. Commissioner Tui.
Thank you, Chair Handy. I wanted to explain my vote regarding the extended closure approval for Campfire Lounge. I voted no because the establishment has been closed since April. I'm aware they're making progress. However, we have 4 bar licenses. We'll have 5 next month. And I feel like we're getting to a point where we're going to run out of licenses again. And we need to be judicious in how we are granting extended closures. And we have faced this issue in the past where we did not choose to grant extended closure to different establishments because of the scarcity issue. And so I think in terms of bar licenses, where we are with scarcity is prompting me to not want to favor extended closures. I think I'm going to be voting that way consistently, where we have these very long, protracted extended closure requests. It's nothing against the business. It's nothing about the management or the progress that has been made or not made. I just think that we're being put in a position where we're dealing with scarcity and we need to start considering our options yet again until the quota issue is truly fixed by our legislature. So Chair, thank you for the time. I just wanted to explain my vote.
Yeah, Commissioner Jacobson, sir.
I think that Commissioner Tui has a very, very good point. And if I may piggyback on what you said, it may be appropriate for us to consider as a short-term policy that our extended closure times will not be as long as literally almost month-to-month basis, requiring that the licensee demonstrate to us sufficient progress. And that way we keep our finger on it rather than by example, here we would find for leeway. There's no way to monitor to see if they are.
Comment, other commissioners?
Chair Handy,
Please, Commissioner Orton?
I just quickly want to align myself with the comments that Commissioner Tui and Commissioner Jacobson just made. It was actually that is the extended closure that prompted my concern over the extended closures under full restaurants. So just wanted to say that I am in support of their comments as well.
Staff is certainly hearing our comments. Director Clayson,
Yes,
to you, please.
Thank you, Chair. You asked Jeremy earlier, when he was going over the renewal period, how many had and how many hadn't. And so Jeremy, clearly you could answer this, but I thought I would just do it for you since it's in front of me and you let me know. There are 335 total to renew. 216 have done so and 119 are pending, as Jeremy mentioned. I have that correct, Jeremy? Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for digging into that with us. Anything else, commissioners, before we go to public comment? Seeing none, now we'll go to public comment, and I would invite anyone who would like to address the commission to now come forward. We would like to give you about 3 minutes, and please state your name, the context, who you represent, and we'd be happy to hear from you and have the context of your presentations.
And Chair Handy, if someone comes forward, could I just remind them to please speak into the microphone so that those of us who are online will be able to hear?
Thank you for that. Yes, they will do that. Anyone online, Vicky? Seeing no one online. So if no one comes up, you have to eat the whole turkey leg. Going once, going twice. Going 3 times. Okay, seeing no public comment. I'll just note here before I call for a motion to adjourn. We like to always read this to report fraud, abuse, or waste within the department to the Office of the Internal Auditor at dabsreporting@utah.gov. Thank you, commissioners, for your attendance today. Thank you, staff, for your excellent work in helping us be prepared and in answering our questions. And thank you to Commissioner Orton and Commissioner Owens for joining online. And we wish each of you a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. And we'll see you next month. Motion to adjourn, please. So moved from Commissioner Jacobson. Second, all in favor, say aye and enjoy the rest of your